Am I the butthole for telling my ex-wife's friend to get out of my face when she insisted that I take my daughter to her mom's place? My ex-wife and I have been separated for over a year. We share custody of our 13-year-old daughter. She had her period for the first time on April and her mom knew and told me. She had our daughter stay with her for 2 extra days, so she could look after her. Yesterday my daughter was staying at my place when she realized her period has started again. She seemed unwell for a while, then told me she had an extra pad she carries with her but needed some more and asked if I could drive her to the supermarket to buy some. I took her to the supermarket to do quick shopping. We were at the feminine hygiene aisle and my ex-wife's friend approached me and asked what I was doing there. I told her helping my daughter buy pads. She raised her eyebrows, almost taking off her glasses, and began asking if my ex knew where my daughter and I were. I told her yes. I lied. Then I continued walking, but she asked my daughter and knew we lied. She said I knew how my ex will react and asked why I didn't call her to let her know, so she could deal with the issue. I told her not her day, not her issue, then kept walking, but once again she got in the way to inform me that I really should call my ex. I had my daughter that day, so I'm responsible for any issues she deal with. Why would I need to call her mom? I'm her father, not the babysitter. I got agitated and told her to get the F out my face. Then walked away. My ex-wife called and berated me, saying I should have brought our daughter to her upon finding out that her period started and that I should have at least told her, so she could come pick her up. I asked her why, and she said that she's her mom, she knows how to manage the stuff our daughter is new to and struggling to deal with, and said it was wrong of me to pretend like I knew better than her since it's her job as a mom, and it's worse because her friend saw me and felt weirded out. Then said I was out of line for telling her friend to get out my face and walking away while she was talking to me. I responded that our custody agreement consists that I have our daughter on certain days of the week, and she can't change that. She said just because something is legally right doesn't mean it's morally right too. And if I had manners I would have contacted her and drove our daughter to her house instead of the supermarket, so she could take care of everything. I argued with her and informed her my daughter wanted to stay with me, but she claimed that I was pressuring her. And that she'll be way more comfortable staying with her during this time. She insisted I drive my daughter to her place and I declined. Her boyfriend of 2 months is getting involved, which really pisses me off. Christ on a cracker, not the butthole. We have enough posts on this sub with men completely unable to deal with periods. In this generation, do we really have women also teaching their daughters they have to keep their uglies from the delicate menfolk? You are her father, and you acted like a father when your daughter needed something. Anybody who says differently can piss off. Exactly this. Definitely not the butthole. My partner is quite comfortable with the concept of periods. If I ask him to buy me tampons on his way home from work, he does. It's not awkward, it happens every month, and there's no reason for men to be so delicate about periods. In my opinion, any man who has daughter should be comfortable dealing with it and not turning into a ball of embarrassment. Raises hand. I have 4 daughters. They all have different preferences and I know them all. They send a text, I grab them on the way home. They get what they need, no one has to make a secondary trip, everybody wins. If my wife flipped the F out on me for buying our kids necessities because it's a girl problem, I don't rightly know how I would react, but confusion and anger sound likely. Fellow dad with a daughter, this wins the prize. It's just not a big deal to us. I don't have kids, but I have known several women in my life. They all know that if they need me to go get something for them, just tell me exactly what to get, as those walls can be a bit daunting for the uninitiated. Women have enough crap to deal with. I can purchase a box of tampons from time to time. Yep, the worst you'll get is some giggles from the older ladies, but hey, it's just another day. Oh, there are still guys that give you grief. The first time I bought some for my daughter, I grabbed a couple different types because she was still figuring out what worked for her, and the counter lady looked at the 3 different kinds and said, "Let me guess, daughter's still figuring it all out?" I told her yes, and she mentioned how much it helped her having a dad who hadn't made her feel weird about it. Just then older dude behind butts in with, or you could be the man and let your wife take care of the lady stuff. He had a Vietnam vet hat on, so I asked him if he served. He said yes, so I asked him if he'd have taken a bullet for his brothers. He said sure. So I asked him why he's comfortable taking a bullet for his brothers but not buying an effing hygiene product for his daughter. There was then cursing on his part. Well, there's always one in every bunch, but the good thing is they always give themselves away with their constantly running yap. I asked him why he's comfortable taking a bullet for his brothers but not buying an effing hygiene product for his daughter. Well done. So I asked him why he's comfortable taking a bullet for his brothers but not buying an effing hygiene product for his daughter. Oh, the fragility. Very good, very good. Oh, I love you so hard. Thank you for being the change. For all you wonderful men out there, YouTube link. When I first got my period at 13, I was at my dad's and called my mom to get confirmation as to what was happening. Every month after that initial time, my dad has been fully supportive and will run and buy pads if I need or give me room to rest if I need. He's an old school Indian guy. If he can do it, so can any dad. You sound like a great dad as well. Us daughters need men like you supporting us. Not even a big deal to stepdads if mine's any proof. The first time I started, my mom actually sat at home with me while my stepdad went out for supplies. He returned with pads, liners, and light absorbency tampons, which even my mom was a little bit impressed with. It hadn't actually occurred to her yet that her super absorbency tampons wouldn't have worked for me, but apparently it did. The pharmacist who my stepdad asked for help. My stepdad also returned with flowers and a card. He even went out later and had a damn cake decorated, God bless him. My partner took a photo of my tampon brand years ago and didn't mention it, just so he could pick the right ones up if asked. He has never minded periods or grabbing tampons at the store. He even specifically asks if there's anything I want to eat. Not all men are incompetent with this stuff. Yup. My husband has 3 daughters and a wife. It's part of life. And our son will also know because he has older sisters. Let's normalize menstruation, please. Exactly. Shipping her back to mom every time she gets her period is the opposite of normalizing. It's basically saying she's gross and embarrassing and needs to be hidden from males. Yes. My older brother went crazy when mine started. Poor dude thought I was too young. Our parents were out of town for work and you'd have thought I was dying by how panicked he was. I didn't have a pharmacy in our bathroom. We're both late 30s now and I know if I called him today he's being me whatever I need and crack a horrible joke to make me laugh. What really burns here is the new boyfriend trying to throw weight around and look strong by trying to bully the ex-husband. Like any reasonable person would look embarrassed at being caught in the middle of such a thing and try to let the parties fight it out with occasional comment to the ex-wife from the back. Like, why would you want to be involved in that? Not the butthole. If your daughter isn't asking for her mom, there's no need for her to be involved in things like this on your custody days. Good on you for helping your daughter and not being one of those ew gross guys. No kidding. Daughter asked her parent to buy pads. Nothing wrong or disgusting about accompanying your daughter to buy pads, and it's not a medical emergency. There's no valid reason the ex needed to know, much less try to force a custody adjustment. The daughter is old enough to decide if she needs the ex's advice, considering she already spent 2 extra days over at ex's place on the same issue. Could you imagine trying to go to court and telling the judge you must have your daughter on the day she's menstruating because it's a medical emergency? Not only that, but when you're that young your cycle tends to be irregular, so that would also be a stupid schedule to try to juggle around. Not the butthole. For the mom, this isn't about periods, it's about control plus wanting to be needed by her daughter. The mom needs to put the daughter's needs first, instead of her own, and be a real parent. Not the butthole. You sure are right. You aren't a babysitter, you're her father, and if she asked you to buy pads instead of taking her to her mom's, then that's her prerogative. She is old enough to know when to ask for help. Her friend has no business telling you what you should be doing for your daughter and needs to keep her sticky beak out of everyone's business. Mom needs to understand that you are a grown man with a daughter and it's her monthly cycle and that you would know what to do. Unless your daughter expresses to you that she wants her mother and you refuse, then you have done everything right. Morally in the right too, not just legally. You know what I'm afraid of? That mom tries to use the period excuse to have her daughter around for longer. In her mind, if the daughter is on her period, only she can help her, which is wrong. If the period time falls on original poster's time, and she's demanding that original poster brings back their daughter. Fishy. I really hope she's just being a helicopter parent. Also, I agree, original poster is definitely being a good parent. Listening to the kid and trying to help is definitely a great thing. It's a sign that daughter trusts original poster enough to share this informative with him and to ask him for help. If he was grossed out and took her to her mom without even trying to listen to her or to help her, I'm pretty sure that trust would be broken. Or, at least, she would be disappointed. She is indeed old enough to have her own opinion and to reach for help. And not the butthole, of course. Their argumento doesn't even make sense. Your daughter will have her periods for decades, so you better get used to it. If she was comfortable enough to ask you for more pads, then she doesn't have a problem with staying with you during her menstruation. Not the butthole, and the mother needs to realize periods aren't a woman-only issue if you have a daughter. And this wasn't the first period. It's the second. She's only using pads. That's not even something that the daughter needs help with after the first time. Open, peel, stick. Remove, dispose. Repeat. It's not like it's some long, involved process that she needs mom's help with each time. Not the butthole. And good grief, this poor girl is probably humiliated at all these people getting involved in this. You stepped up as a dad when your daughter needed you, and this friend had absolutely no right to stick her nose in. Your wife is being ridiculous. Does she expect that your daughter is going to be by her side every month for the next 40 years? Get her the supplies she needs, a hot water bottle, and some chocolate. And be content knowing your daughter is probably happy she has a dad who cares for her. Not the butthole. Your daughter is going to continue to live with periods. She is also going to continue living, partially, with you. It goes hand in hand that she may have her period when she's with you, and ultimately, you did what any caring father would do and you tried to make the situation better. I would almost bet from the context of your post that you know what kind of pad she bought, so now she wouldn't even need to leave home, you know what to get. Her mother is, low-key, saying that because you're not a woman you don't know how to look after a girl going through her period. Thing is, this isn't her first period. Her mom has seen her through that, and she sounds like a level-headed young adult who clearly knows what's going on. Daughter wants to stay with you, court says she should stay with you. I don't see what kind of ground that her mom wants to stand on to justify her going back on your mandated days. Imagine the conversation she'd have with your daughter. Mom, why am I back with you? I thought I was with Dad? Oh well, you're on your period, so your dad sent you back to me. All that's going to do is put in her head that her period is a bad thing she should resent. You did everything right. You supported your kid as she's going through something. The lack of a vagina between your legs does not make you a less capable parent than her mother. As for her friend stopping you in the shop? As always with this sub, people got to learn to mind their own business. You were not doing anything illegal, and if anything, we are in 2021. The stigmatism of a guy in the female hygiene section buying pads for the special females in their lives should be gone. You were being a supportive dad by taking her to the store and showing her you're not worried about the situation. Your ex-wife's boyfriend and friend should really be staying out of this. They do not have an input into your kid's life. Not the butthole. Legally, you're perfectly right. Morally, you're also right. Your daughter is 13. She knows what she wants and what is best for her, mostly. If she feels comfortable staying with you during her period, then that's where she should be. I would also like to congratulate you on taking your daughter to buy pads. If anything, that shows that you are mature enough to deal with this situation. And you're also a good dad. Your ex-wife's friend shouldn't have got involved. Not the butthole. This was hard to read. I was getting pissed off. And she's not even my daughter. What exactly was your daughter struggling with? She knew she needed pads, etc. I wish you the best. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to be the first to know about Red Rabbit Reader's new videos. If you like our videos, please like them on YouTube and share them with your friends. We welcome your comments below. Press to start another of our videos.